This is the Hub on Hollywood. I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
And we love movies.
And James, today's a very unique episode. If you're listening to us on the podcast, I encourage you to look on YouTube also.
We have a very special guest.
Yeah, we have a very special guest today. My very own Baby Yoda, Desiree's here. I'm also at my brother's brand new house. We are helping him move. Mm-hmm. So we're having an episode here on the Hub on Hollywood, and there's really cool stuff.
There are a lot of cool toys. I was gonna say, that's a museum for MCU and Star Wars.
Yeah, I can't have nice things in my own house, James, because obviously I have two small children. Check this out.
That's incredible.
Who does not want their very own gauntlet of power here?
And that's like a real life-size, movie accurate size gauntlet, looks like.
It's a gauntlet. So every time that you make fun of Raylo, I can just snap.
And again, the pinky. This is a fancy gauntlet because the pinky doesn't go down.
The Doctor Strange,
I love that you have a couple lightsabers on the back, some Kylo Ren lightsabers, a Kylo Ren mask, and of course Baby Yoda.
And of course Baby Yoda.
I don't have anything. I have a cat that's sleeping on my chair right now.
You have a cat. Oh my gosh, James! I can't even handle this. So there's
legit.
Beautiful Kylo Ren helmet here. Let's see if I can get it to. Oh gosh! Come on, turn on. Hold on. There we go.
Together, we will destroy the Resistance and the Last Jedi.
Oh my god!
Don't fight it.
I'll be.
You know you can't.
I don't want to fight it. I don't want to fight it, Kylo Ren. I don't want to fight it, Adam Driver.
Well, those are a lot of cool toys. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you get to watch enviously at all these toys that we're playing with today. If you are watching us on YouTube or Facebook, thank you very much. Please subscribe. Please like. Thank you for watching. If you're watching us on Facebook, give us a share. If you are not watching us, we are also on every major podcasting streaming service: iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Any major one, we are out there. We're also on the social medias, right? Facebook, Instagram,
We're on the
Twitter.
Facebooks, the Instas, the Twitter. Join the conversation with us. Give us your theories, etc., etc. We love chatting with you, and come have fun with us, man. There's nothing else to do. We're all, in the middle of this pandemic, we all need a little bit of fun. We all need a little bit of laughter and happiness. So that's where we come in.
Yeah, and we are going to have a lot of fun talking about a lot of not happy things, especially when they happen in WandaVision. This latest episode, I've said it every week except for last week, but this week is my new favorite episode of WandaVision. We really get to see, how Westview in its current state came to be, how Wanda created this, as we all were imagining she did, and we learned a heck of a lot more of Agatha. So this was to date my favorite WandaVision episode, and I think next week, the last episode has to be an hour long because they have so much stuff to talk about and cover.
I know.
It must be an hour long episode, but we will get into WandaVision. Also, we're looking at the trailers for Spider-Man 3, as well as Kevin can F himself. Spider-Man 3, by the way, gets its own official name. We learn it, and we will talk about that. Yeah.
Yes, we have a title, a little snippet of something, and then a little bit of entertainment news, right, James?
That's right. We got some entertainment news and, of course, casting calls. But, yeah, let's get right into WandaVision because in this one, again, like I said, we see how Wanda, we saw Wanda at her lowest point and how that led to her losing all control and using all of her power and harness that power to create this world, this WandaVision world that's happening in Westview. And we see this let's backtrack a little bit because Hayward, man, that guy is really evil and he really sucks. Because we were led to believe that Wanda, she went to SWORD and I guess the I'm blanking on what was previously not SWORD, but the one before that. Agents of Shield. So she goes to that building to view want to view Vision's body. She feels that he should be buried. She makes the case that they were in love, and Hayward, he sold it or painted it as if she broke in, barged in, stole the body, and left, and then created this Westview. When in fact, we learn, that she did go, and she did want to bury Vision, and she got angry by seeing, Hayward and the rest of the people treating Vision as if he's just another piece of machinery that they can use. And she goes down there. Hayward lets her view Vision, and she tries to feel Vision, and that's a callback to the I believe it was Civil War. No, it was Infinity War, where she could feel Vision. She couldn't feel Vision anymore, and so she knew that this is just,
he wasn't there.
This is his body, gone. And he's gone. There's nothing, and so she left without Vision's body. And she goes straight to Westview. We find out that it appears that Vision had bought this property where they can start the rest of their life and grow old. And then that's when we see the grief and everything that was culminating to this point happen. And in a split second, Westview is transformed into the 1940s, into the sitcom world. And then we see Wanda materialize Vision. Vision, it's
out
revealed.
Of her.
So that's one of the biggest things. One of the biggest reveals was that Wanda didn't steal Vision's body and then create or fill in the rest of the half that was missing. She created him entirely from scratch and
from herself, right?
From herself.
He burst forth from her.
Yeah, and so I think that this is actually part Vision, part Wanda mix, because as we saw in Infinity War when she destroyed him and when she did feel him, I think she was able to, again, this is a theory, able to harness Vision's soul or Vision's being essence. And when she created him, she mixed half of herself with Vision. And one big hint to this happened a few episodes ago. And excuse me if I'm ranting, but this happened a few episodes ago. Where when Vision finally starts realizing something's off here, something's wrong, and he confronts her and saying, what you're doing is wrong. When Vision gets angry and he flies up above her and looks down, the way he flies up, and there was a quick cut to his hands, he flew up exactly how Wanda flies, with hands down and one leg up. And Wanda, she flew up and matched him right in the air, exact same pose. And it was at that moment I was thinking, okay, maybe he was 50%, the robotics part, or what was left, and then the rest was filled in by Wanda. It turns out the entire thing is Wanda, but again, I feel there's an essence of Vision in there. That was one of the bigger surprises of this episode.
So yeah, James, not only are we learning that Hayward, Wanda did not steal the body, and he said that she did, he made that claim, but he still has the remains of the first Vision body, which they are now animating, and we've got that, ooh, look at that double vision. Now we got two visions! We've got two visions. We've got the soul of Vision, which Wanda has created from her own heart as she, she's being torn apart by grief. And we've got the remains of his physical body that have been reanimated, and Lord knows what's going to happen with that. Really quickly, James.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to back up a little bit because so the episode begins with Wanda again in Agatha's basement, and Agatha is done waiting, James. She's done waiting. She's like, I've played this little game with you, but she wants to know more about where Wanda's power is coming from to create this hex, because as we see in the opening sequence in the Salem, Massachusetts, which is so cool. Agatha's been a witch for a very long time, and she's been seeking power and searching for power, and she wants what Wanda has, and so she is going to force Wanda to relive her life and relive her grief and find out where this power is coming from. It's what Wanda needs in a sense. You can't just live in your, fake made up reality. You have to
confront it.
You have to acknowledge your past and come to terms with it and all of that stuff. And through this, we get to learn more history about what happened to Wanda and her brother and how her parents were killed. And we come to discover, James, that Wanda had an encounter with the Mind Stone before Vision when she joined Hydra. and she had this encounter with the Mind Stone, and it amplified her powers that might otherwise never have developed. And so she is a witch, but never learned the art. Never learned the art of witchcraft.
Yeah, and we saw that she's had this since the very young age. We have this flashback of when we've been hearing how Wanda and Prieto's parents died. They died in this bombing, Stark Industries bomb that never went off, and we find out that the bomb probably didn't malfunction. It was actually Wanda as a child doing a probability spell and having the bomb not go off. And I had seen in another video people saying, Tony Stark's, his weapons work, and so that bomb should have more than likely gone off. But Wanda, again, she had these powers that, as you mentioned, would have withered without being sparked again by this. And it turns out she is not only this powerful being, but she is apparently this something that's been foreseen, the Scarlet Witch, one of the most powerful beings out there that uses chaos magic, and they're able to create life and create literally anything and bend reality to their will. And Agatha, clearly impressed, clearly jealous, and she wants that for herself. Yeah, and terrified. And she wants that for herself. And I guess her strongest power is sucking power from other beings, and I think that's the goal. She wanted to see, kind of see how Wanda revealed it or how she did it on her own. But as you said, she had to show her cards and walk Wanda through her worst times, and now she's seen it. And at the very end of this episode, we see her holding Tommy and Billy hostage, this noose or rope around their throats. And so I guess she really wants to see, what can Wanda do when she's hit her hardest rock bottom, even more so than Vision, her children. And this could be what could be the defining. This very well likely is the defining point of where Wanda is going to set off to, either be a villain or is she going to overcome somehow and remain good. And and then we go into the multiverse of madness with Doctor Strange. So the next episode must be an hour long. I'm imagining that it has to be an hour long.
Yeah, there's so many things that need to be tied up, and there is a preview scene where you see the Mind Stone coming into play here. Can Wanda just create another Mind Stone from herself? Is there any way that Vision can live outside of the Hex? Because it looks like that bubble is going to pop, and when it does, what is going to be left in its wake? And is Wanda going to be a villain? Is she going to be, is she going to come out? Is she going to come out of this as still a hero? I don't know. There's a lot going on there that we're going to discover. So
yeah, and one thing we did see when she was at the very end of the episode, she did have this vision, no pun intended, but she had this vision of Scarlet Witch, like herself would appearing to be her final or true form, and that is the Scarlet Witch, and she finally has a name now, the Scarlet Witch. This whole time throughout the MCU, she's never been called out once, and so now she officially has that, not only a name, but a title. That appears to be a title or some sort of being, a magical being. One last thing I want to touch on this is Again, the MCU is great at action. It's great at moving stories along and showing character arc. But they're getting better, or they've really been good this whole time. But this was one of the peak moments where their writing really jumped out and hit you like in the face. Was when they had a flashback, what appears to be before Civil War, when Wanda and Vision are talking to each other, and Wanda's having this one-on-one with Vision. She's talking about her loss. Vision's trying to help her. And at one point he says, what is grief but love persevering? And that's amazing.
Line.
That was a beautiful, amazing line. And it is so true. And yeah, there are a lot of people out there that are grieving, and that can be so hard to take, to accept, or to live with. But if you look at that, and hopefully these words help other people, I don't know, but yeah, that amount of grief shows how much love was there and currently still is there. And I have to applaud the MCU again, the creators of WandaVision. They're really giving their characters justice. And this is something that we don't see in many of the other superhero or comic book movies, including, DC's Justice League. We're seeing a lot of, big hits and world crashing big events, but we are missing that heart, so that thing that connects everyone. Yes. And so, again, big kudos to the MCU. Big kudos for the creators and for Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany for their amazing performance. Very great acting, very, very strong performances. And so I'm impressed. I cannot wait until the final episode. So please let us know what you think. Please, what are your initial thoughts on this episode? What are your predictions for the final one? Are we going to see Wanda, stay true to what I think is her true nature, which is, being a good person? Or will something happen to cause her to be that villain that she already thinks she has become? So I'm excited.
Okay, so James, speaking of WandaVision, the multiverse, everything is connecting to Doctor Strange, to Spider-Man, to absolutely everything. So we are going to go into Spider-Man. What do we know about Spider-Man?
Well, we just got the new name for it, and this cute little teaser trailer. In which do you want to watch it right now? Do you have it lined up?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, let's watch it. Let's see. So starting now.
And go. Yep.
All right, so?
Gave us a fake name again.
That's right.
I just don't understand why he keeps doing this.
You don't understand?
Look
I feel
how
like it's
cute.
pretty obvious to just spoil things.
I don't
These
spoil
guys are
things.
great friends.
Name me one thing that I've actually spoiled.
The last movie.
And there it is. On the whiteboard.
Spider-Man, No Way
No
Home.
Way Home. Okay, so yeah, we've got our three main characters there, talking about, joking about how Tom Holland is always giving away spoilers. He's always giving away state secrets, and I think they've completely just wrapped this into their marketing now. Like, they don't let him spill any real secrets anymore, so they're just kind of having fun with it.
So he could, I think it's like an inner thing in his body where he just has to, regurgitate spoilers. But no, they give him spoilers to spit out that's safe. But one thing that's funny about this, though, is that I still don't think they trusted him, because if you do, because we have internet sleuths out there that they've picked this frame by frame, and it looks like when they pass by the whiteboard with all the names on there and all the potential but scratched off names, it looks like they're in front of a green screen. If you look at Tom Holland's shoulder and outline, it looks very green screenish, and so it seems like they may have just walked past the green screen because they didn't want Tom to still see it and to still spoil it. So yeah, so I think it was great that they used it to make fun of him being notorious for spoilers.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and so for this one, it looks like they still don't trust him, but it was a good funny gag. But yeah, No Way Home. What is your first thought when you hear Spider-Man 3, No Way Home, after the ending of last one?
I think it's great. I think it makes perfect sense. I thought it was really funny that the MCU was kind of putting out, in the days leading up to this, they've kind of been putting out fake titles. There was Spider-Man 3 Home Depot. There was there was a few of them. Homewrecker. So it was just really cute, really funny. But I think it makes perfect sense because Spider-Man has no way home now. J. Jonah Jameson has been brought back in, has exposed his identity. He's being framed for the death of the previous villain, Mysterio. So there were also a couple of a few stills that were released, and it shows our Spider-Man trio in hiding. It looks like they're in some kind of warehouse, and
Ned is doing his computer thing.
Yeah, Ned's doing his computer thing. Zendaya is looking awesome, and this little teaser where they revealed the title, they all appear to be wearing their costumes. They appear to be wearing, what they're wearing in the stills that were released. So it's very exciting, especially since we have an amazing cast for Spider-Man 3. Like, it just blows your mind. Talking about multiverse. Okay, so Wanda leads into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which leads into Spider-Man, okay? We have confirmed, it seems like we've got Electro from the Andrew Garfield movies. We've got Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield themselves who might be coming back. We've got Michael Keaton back as the Vulture. We've got many of these folks. Alfred Molina, Doc Ock. That's right, Doc Ock from the Tobey Maguire universe.
And I'm sure J.K. Simmons again, of course.
We've got and we've got the Sinister Six coming after them. We've got J. Jonah Jameson. We've got all of these people from all of the Spider-Man movies that you've ever loved coming together. And I'm hoping, James, that they're doing this judiciously. Just sprinkle me in some extra Spider-Man, okay?
Yeah.
Like, maybe a little shot of them at the end, like one
open
scene.
Doctor Strange
one
window
scene.
and have them just wave at them.
Exactly. Like, not the whole film, because I feel like that's just gonna... It'd be overkill. It'd be just massive overkill if they don't use them, like just a dash here. Like the new Star Wars trilogy, how Luke Skywalker was in it for all of a second and he has no lines, but he was still credited. No, so that's yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Zing.
But, so this is just, I hope, my hope is that they're using it very, very, very judiciously, because Tom Holland, Zendaya, the kid who plays Ned, they are so fabulous on their own. They're so amazing. I love the storyline. I love everything that the previous story, this generation that the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies have given us, and I want more of that. And I don't want them being upstaged, okay? Like, give Tom Holland his space, okay? I need him to perform.
Yeah.
What do you
think,
James?
This is a Spider-Man movie, after all.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm excited for that. Let's see. Want to jump right into casting calls, unless you have any final thoughts on SP3? No, SM3.
Well, I'm just interested also to see how it all ties in with Doctor Strange. So Kevin Feige reportedly has his offices. He has all of the directors of all of these other films, all with offices near his, so he can just walk over and say, hey, does this connect to this, and does this connect to this? And he's just, so brilliant, and I just love the way that the MCU ties all of these things together. WandaVision, also, that finale, James, Paul Bettany has said that there is a major cameo that still has not happened yet.
Yeah, so that could be Doctor Strange, that could be, who else could plays in the magical realm? We have Wong, who's friends of Doctor Strange. There's also that character, and I'm forgetting the actor, but he was in Doctor Strange, the first one, and he played Strange's mentor. And so there's rumor that he may make a reappearance, or he may be involved somehow. I don't think he's going to be pulled in yet, just because there hasn't been enough references to him or Doctor Strange just yet. So I don't see that, but I do see Strange coming in potentially. Or can Disney do, still a bigger twist? Everyone's expecting Doctor Strange, because it would be a big move still. Be really cool. But could Disney just or the MCU just do their one more trick up their sleeve and bring somebody that nobody imagined?
But speaking of tricks up their sleeve, Tom Holland was also saying that they're in the middle of filming one of the biggest action sequences in a comic book movie ever. Okay, and this is after all of the Avengers movies. Like,
after Endgame,
what do you mean? What do you mean after Endgame that you are filming the biggest action sequence in a comic book movie ever? And he says that it's taken over a month to shoot so far. So, I mean, so much to look forward to. So much to look forward to.
Only in theaters. Yeah. Only in theaters and at Christmas.
Around Christmas time, right? Oh, I didn't know that it's only in theaters.
Yeah,
so it's not going to be one of those dual releases that we've been getting up until now?
No, and by then, I think, at that point, everybody should have gotten their vaccine. And everybody should. Do your civic duty. Protect your neighbors. And yourself. And so I think by December, we're expecting most people to be, the vaccine to be available to mostly anybody by, spring, late spring, maybe even summer. But by December, I think a lot of people are going to be vaccinated. I think a lot of people are going to be excited to go back to the movie theater. I'm super excited to go back to the movie theater and see this movie. on the big screen.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. So that is coming. I wish that I could just snap and that it was here. But, you know, you got to have a little bit of patience, James.
A little bit of patience.
I need to buy these things for myself.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, well, again, thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode of The Hub on Hollywood. If you are watching us on YouTube or Facebook, please give us a like, please give us a subscribe, follow, smash that. Every button you see, just smash it. We're also on every major podcasting streaming service, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, also on the social medias, at Hub on Hollywood. Yeah, let's go into the casting calls. We have a very short casting call list, specifically just one, but that means we'll have more entertainment news. But our first casting call is for Boston Casting. They are looking for Indigenous actors, men 55 years old and older. This is a SAG and non-union job, so anybody can apply, no experience needed. This is for a TV project, and it pays $1,000. Shoots February through July, so a wide range of possible shoot dates. Now, you should send your photo, where you're located, and which community you are active in, member of. Send that all to Boston Casting Submit 4 at gmail.com.
James, Boston Casting also handling casting for the Showtime show Dexter, which is filming now, and if you subscribe to them, you sign up and give your information. You don't have to pay for it, but you put your information in, you can get those casting notices as well.
So I apologize for lying right there. I said we had one casting call. Apparently we have two, so forgive me.
Okay, that's all right. But James, so these castings are so awesome. They're so fun. If you're in the New England region with us, because then you get to see yourself on the big screen. Speaking of, one of those projects that is that is underway right now, that is being shot right now, that I got to spend a couple of days on, is something called Kevin Can F Himself. It's an AMC show. Its first season is being produced right now, and the first trailer just came out this last week. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, because it is giving me major WandaVision vibes as well, but super darker and funny. So I just want to get your thoughts on Kevin Can F Himself. This is shooting in the Randolph area right now here. So I can't wait to see this one. Let's give this a watch. So let's
3, 2, 1.
It's about a woman who keeps playing perfect housewife.
Hey, where's our breakfast? You're not supposed to have favorites.
Kevin's my husband.
Yeah. Babe, can you go see if my package is here yet?
Can't you do it?
I'm in the middle of something.
Then one day,
So
she realizes what she wants.
oh boy.
Whoa, Miss Hercules over here. Is that blood?
It doesn't mean you get to be moody.
Oh, really corny jokes.
Yeah. And then complete shift change. Duncan.
I am seeing an ex.
What I missed.
This is supposed to be set in Worcester, actually.
Life on this terrible marriage. The money's gone. Kevin drained the account.
You ever think about maybe trying to have just a little bit of fun?
You can get in trouble for that.
You're having trouble, you dick!
The hell, lady?
I'm not sorry. And she has this brilliant plan.
Good for you, honey.
Kevin and Allison, together forever.
I'm just so tired. The world revolves around him. And if it doesn't, he just blows it to hell. It has to stop.
Can't stop greatness.
I love this back and forth.
Make both our lives easier.
We are insane, but you're not alone.
Things were gonna change.
Crap! Mother F!
My God, just swear. F is so much worse.
Kevin Can F Himself. So coming out later this year.
So
Starring
I'll be-
Eric Peterson, Annie Murphy. Yeah, give me, what do you think?
I'll be honest. So at first, I'm not crazy about the title, the name of it. Kevin Can F Himself. We've said this before, but it reminds me of that William Shatner TV show, Blank My Dad Says. And of course, it's supposed to be edgy and, you can't say the S, shit word, or you can't say, Kevin Can F Himself. So so that's the impression that I had when I heard this title. Watching the trailer, completely flipped it. So now I'm really excited to see this. It is very WandaVision-esque, where it appears there's a little playing with realities or perspectives. But at first, not a big fan of the name. Now it's growing on me.
Okay. Yeah, so you get like a little bit of she's trying to be like the perfect wife, and it kind of goes back and forth between almost cringy 90s sitcoms and her dreary actual reality. And whether or not she actually stabs him, I don't know, but it seems like a very dark comedy here, going back and forth. I love the change of perspective, so I'll give it a chance. It's kind of cool.
And it was filmed here.
So I got to spend a couple of days on this just doing the laugh track. So being like, the people who are laughing at the 90s sitcom,
nice.
Part, whatever. So that's really neat.
Wait, so what were you laughing at? Did they give you anything to work with, or they were just laugh?
Oh, yeah. No. As they're performing, you're laughing.
Oh, so they actually shot that in front of a live studio audience?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
That's awesome.
A socially distant little audience.
No, but that's cool.
Yeah, no, it is. So it's interesting and it's neat, and that's why you need to continue watching The Hub on Hollywood, so that we can get you into those chairs, so that you can laugh in the backgrounds of these shows, or stand behind Jennifer Lopez and Leonardo DiCaprio, and we want to do that for you because we love you.
Do you think you could identify your own laugh while watching the episode?
I don't know, possibly. Let's see.
Okay,
I don't
play
know.
this back when you're watching Kevin Can F himself. Play back this episode at this timestamp, and
yeah.
see if you can see that
and
laugh.
See if you can identify my laugh. No, there are other things you can see me, and don't worry about it. But
we've talked about a lot of heartbreaking and gut wrenching moments in television, including in WandaVision. Kevin Can F himself looks to be a dark humor. So let's end on a little lighter note, shall we?
Yeah, go for it.
So Jonah Hill, he's making the news. Apparently, Daily Mail, they shared a picture of him with the headline, Jonah Hill slips into his black wetsuit for surf day in Malibu before showing off his tattoos while going shirtless to tell himself off. And Jonah Hill, he reposted that photo on his Instagram, as well as a message pretty much explaining, where his life travel has been on, in particular on how he views himself and how he views his body. According to The Hollywood Reporter, he's speaking up about body positivity and confidence after the article was posted. He went to Instagram, shared his reaction with the struggle that he used to have with his body image, and this is the quote from Jonah. He goes, "I don't think I ever took my shirt off in a pool until I was in my mid-30s, even in front of family and friends. Probably would have happened sooner if my childhood insecurities were not exacerbated by years of public mockery about my body by press and interviewers. So the idea that the media tries to play me by stalking me while surfing and printing photos like this, and it can't faze me anymore, is dope. I'm 37 and finally love and accept myself." And some of the most cringy kind of interviews that I've watched include one with him where an interviewer, straight to his face, and this is when he's heavier, maybe at one of his heaviest points in his life, and asks him generally, how does it feel being the fat guy? How does it feel being the fat funny guy? And you can see how much it stung. And apparently he'd been getting a lot of questions like that, being, so how do you feel about being the fat funny friend, or the fat funny comic relief, or fat funny, just again, really focusing on his physical body. He's not a character. He's not the character you're watching on that movie. He's Jonah Hill.
He's a person.
And it's been affecting him for so long. So watch that video, because I don't know, it just shows that words do matter, and people matter. Even though they're in the spotlight, they're human too. And I'm really happy for Jonah that he's found confidence in his body, that he seems to find peace. He does look a lot healthier. He's nowhere, if you look at the photo, nowhere near where he was at his heaviest point. But either way, at the end of the day, as long as you're treating yourself right, or you're happy with yourself, there's not much more you can ask for. So go Jonah Hill for body positivity.
Yes, go Jonah Hill. We're all in this together. We're all in this life together. The character is not the human being. You got to, respect to the human being. And I love that he loves himself and that he's putting that message out there. We're all getting older, James. So, and I think one of the great things that comes with age is self-acceptance. And yes, that is wonderful. So that is a very good way to end this episode of The Hub on Hollywood. I just wanted to give a kudos to my little baby who disappeared halfway through this episode because
You're not Agatha, are you? You just
I
have her
wasn't.
disappear?
I can't just make her
Actually,
disappear. But
you were playing with the gauntlet just before she disappeared. I'm just saying.
Whoops! It's a little more powerful than I was anticipating.
She'll come back.
But we're all here trying to make the best of it. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We're home with our kids. And sometimes a baby wants to nurse in the middle of a podcast. So we're all in this together, folks. Hang in there. We love you. Love yourself. We're going to get through it. And keep watching The Hub on Hollywood for more inspirational quotes like these.
I'm James.
And I'm Jamie.
Bye.
See you next time.